What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Critical Overlord here. We're going to be talking about the faculty in this video here today. So we finally got an update on the video I did a year ago. It was a report that came out from Daniel RPK, who again is quite credible when it comes to several things related to movies and TV shows. And now, a year later, Variety has now confirmed that the faculty remake is in fact moving forward. It's confirmed. It's coming to us from Drew Hancock, who is writing the screenplay. We don't know who's directing it just yet. I'll go through this article. But Drew Hancock has written and directed the upcoming companion film, which I think is dropping in theaters later tonight. Some of you saw it this past Monday. I, of course, put my review up. I'll leave a link to it at the end of this one. But it says here, Miramax will go back to school with a new version of The Faculty, the 1998 sci-fi thriller that became a box office hit and cult favorite. Robert Rodriguez, who directed the original, will produce the film, which is something Daniel told us about when he reported it last year, or about a year ago in late 2023, I should say. Breakout talent Drew Hancock is writing the remake script. Hancock's debut feature Companion, which he wrote and directed, hits theaters this weekend. It has earned rave reviews. And it goes on to saying, the original version of The Faculty focused on a group of students who begin to suspect that the offbeat administrators and teachers at their high school are hiding a deadly secret. The original movie boasted a screenplay by Kevin Williamson and starred Jordana Brewster, Clea Duvall, Josh Hartnett, Sean Hennessy, Usher, Elijah Wood, and Jon Stewart. So it says it grossed an impressive $63 million and has developed a following in the subsequent decades. Now, I was saying for the longest time, well, not the longest time, but during my last video, I think what I would prefer to see is not a remake, it would be a sequel. And I think that's what many of you would like to see too. Something with Casey, everyone back, and maybe they're the teachers this time around. The alien invasion is affecting them. They're in the same position that their teachers found themselves in, where this alien-like creature came down, started possessing everyone, making them basically their puppets, and infected the entire high school, and they tried to take out the students as well. I would like to see them in the teacher role, and then we have a new group of students who are trying to stop them the way Casey and his friends had to stop their teachers all that time ago. Now, of course, that does sound a little bit generic, copy and paste, just switching the roles, but I just think fans of the film like me and many of you listening, that's what we would prefer. We would prefer to they keep it simple. I don't necessarily think doing a remake is going to be a bad thing. I just know that a remake isn't what I want. But I have to live in reality and understand this too. While The Faculty has a cult following and it does have a big fan base, there are so many people out there who, again, aren't going to bat an eye at this. They don't care that they're doing a remake. They're going to show up and show out if the movie looks good, if they do killer marketing, if it has a great trailer, if it has good word of mouth, if it has a great cast. They're going to show up. It's not going to matter that it's not a sequel. So people who are already willing to lose sleep over this, go crazy if you must, but recognize that there is a world beyond just yourself, and most people are not going to care. The Faculty has a cult following, but it is not this big thing that people are going to flip out over because they're doing a remake and not a sequel. But if they were to do a sequel, what direction would you prefer to see? Would you prefer to see Casey and everyone else back in the role of the teachers? Now they find themselves being possessed. Or would you prefer to see something different? I always thought that The Faculty, maybe I'm not alone in this, I always thought The Faculty was like a full-length film version of this one episode from Buffy season 2. If you know what I'm talking about, then let me know what that episode was down in the comment section below, because I'm drawing a blank on the title. But it was an episode where Buffy was battling the Gorge brothers, I believe, and her school was being infected by this homework assignment they got, and it was taking everybody over. Very reminiscent of what happened in The Faculty. So I always thought The Faculty was like a full-length version of an episode from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But you guys, again, let me know what you would like to see for a Faculty remake down in the comment section below. Are you excited about Drew Hancock being the one penning the screenplay? Who would you like to see directing the film? And I believe at the end of the first film, because it's been a while since I've watched The Faculty, but Delilah and Casey were dating, and we find out that Casey is being regarded as this hero who saved the high school, which I think was called Harrington, and everything was back to normal. But the FBI and the local authorities were basically working overtime to make it seem like, yeah, there was no alien activity, this is all a hoax, stuff like that. What if Casey has been spending the last couple of decades or so trying to expose that it was not a hoax, because maybe the media was successful in a smear campaign against Casey, making him look crazy, making it look like he's lying about the alien activity, not making it seem like Casey is responsible for what happened, but he's definitely trying to exploit this beyond what actually occurred for the sake of attention. And they're saying he's lying about the existence of aliens. So Casey could have some big online platform now. He's still with Delilah. He's still trying to expose the truth and trying to clear his name because now he's being regarded as this conspiracy theorist. And the easiest way you could establish a sequel, or the easiest route, I should say, you could take a sequel in, is maybe the FBI over time, maybe even at the end of the first movie. Maybe somehow they have come in contact with a similar parasite, a similar alien-like creature, and they're planning to now set it loose because they've been training it over the past couple of decades. Casey is becoming too much of a big mouth. Casey is about to expose something big, and to counter this exposure, they set loose another alien attack. This time on a wider scale. It's not just going to be at the high school. It'll start at the high school, but then it will expand into places that we didn't get in the first movie. We're going to go beyond just high school now. That's what I would like to see in a Faculty sequel over a remake. You could still do that in a remake, but I'm crossing my fingers that something about this remake ends up aging it as a sequel and not just a full-fledged remake. Because I think you could tell a story like that in which Casey has been spending the last couple of years trying to clear his name. He's garnered a big online following because people think he's crazy. He's been working overtime to try to expose the existence of aliens and what actually happened at his high school all those years ago. He's in his like middle adulthood. He's around age 40 or so now, whatever. And yeah, you take it from there. The FBI sets loose another alien to keep him quiet because he's about to expose something big. And he could just commentate on conspiracy theories and all this different random stuff that people go crazy about these days. Drew Hancock, I would love to see him team back up. I don't think he teamed up with Zach Cregger for Barbarian, did he? I think Zach Cregger actually wrote and directed Barbarian, but I would like to see Drew Hancock team up with Zach Cregger. Maybe Zach Cregger can direct it. Maybe Radio Silence can direct it. You know, the endless possibilities of filmmakers that are making a name for themselves right now in the horror genre that I would love to see tackle the Faculty. But if you are someone who does not want to see a Faculty remake, then you know what to do. Just don't show up when this film drops in theaters. For what I can recall, the only other logical reason why they're remaking this would be because of the fact that it's not going to be made for anything overly obnoxious like what we get right now with Marvel and DC. They're not going to have a unrealistic budget. Is going to be made for relatively cheap, and it's going to make its money back if it is marketed well, if it has a good cast, if it has good word of mouth, then it'll be fine. The laziness in Hollywood is just going to keep on going because we enable them when we show up for the movies. So if you don't want to see remakes like this happen, stop showing up for remakes in theaters. But I know that it's easier to say that than just doing it, especially when sometimes the movies do look quite good. But let me know what you guys think about this down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, of course, make sure you subscribe, turn on post notifications, and name this video. In the description, I have links to some of the social media accounts. I am on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can message me there to let me know any movies, news, or reviews you'd like me to cover in the future. And with all that in mind, guys, I will see you in the next video.